Hello friends, it's Carissa here. I'd like to share with you a little bit of information about semi-occluded vocal tract exercises. Now, semi means somewhat or partially. Occluded means kind of closed off or narrowed. Vocal tract is obviously your vocal tract. Now, the great thing about these exercises is that they help you to warm up faster. First of all, it's really handy, this neat magic trick you can do with these exercises. But what they're doing technically is they're equalizing the air pressure below the vocal folds and above, whereas normally there's not much pressure above the vocal folds because we have our mouths open and we're singing, the air comes out. Occluding the vocal tract, closing off the mouth or using a straw or a device helps that air pressure to equalize, and the vocal folds really like that for some reason. This is a great way to warm up. This is a great way to rehabilitate if you have vocal fatigue or a little bit of an injury and it's okay for you to start vocalizing. I'm going to share a couple of different ways that you can use SOVT exercises, whether you have devices or not. If you just happen to be on your way to a gig and you left your sing ring or your water bubbler at home, there's ways that you can do it using just your mouth. So I'm going to start with one here that's beside me because there are a lot of pitfalls with blowing bubbles, right? We've all been blowing bubbles in our beverages since we were little kids, and there's unfortunately some bad habits that we've picked up. This is not like drinking a beverage. We're going to have to watch the posture of our face, particularly our chin, that we don't end up going down like this, reaching our face down to blow the bubbles, because that's how we're used to drinking a beverage. You're going to want to keep your head level as if you're singing and move the jar or the water bottle that has the straw in it so that your head is level up just like it will be when you're singing. Now, I like to use something that has a neck on it because I don't like the sensory experience of water splashing me in the face when I'm doing this. And I also have issues with the taste of plastic. I don't like plastic. I'm reducing the amount of plastic that I'm using. So this is a metal straw. It has little cool rainbow colors on it. This one has a bend in it, but you can get them straight if you want. And this is just a glass jar with some water in it. So this is how I like to do my bubbles. It is about halfway full. You will need to adjust the amount of water in your vessel until it feels good and relaxing to your vocal cords. Everybody likes a little bit of different air pressure. This is a larger straw. It's called a fat straw. It's kind of like the straws that we use to have boba, or the little bubbles will come up through the straw. If you're using a skinnier straw, it is better to do that without the water, and I'll show you that device in a few minutes. But let's move on to this. Some of the pitfalls with this, as I said, is putting the head down. Make sure your head's nice and level. And as we're bubbling, you want the bubbles to be consistent in how strong they are and how many bubbles are coming out. If you have this situation where there's a little bit of bubbles coming out at the bottom of your range, and then you get louder as you go up into your higher notes and you're pushing more air, you're going to notice that the bubbles get wild and crazy in certain parts of your range and then calm back down in other parts. We want to get really even and smooth with our air pressure, and this gives you an incredible visual feedback on what your support actually looks like if you actually are being consistent and gently providing that air support, or if you're pushing, you're over compressing, or you're just putting too much air through your instrument that you don't really need to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to say just ooh or whatever makes sense to you, and you blow into here and you want consistent bubbles like this. See, pretty consistent. I mean, you don't need to get super neurotic about counting bubbles, but just keep it somewhat consistent. I will also say, if you tend to have tongue tension, when you're doing your blowing your bubbles, I recommend that you let your tongue come out just a little bit, like that. Because there's something about blowing bubbles, it makes your tongue want to go back and up in your throat and kind of like get out of the way of the straw or something. This happens to me, and I don't know if it happens to a lot of other people too, but tongue position can be a challenge when you're doing this. So either be mindful that your tongue is laying flat and resting in your mouth in that nice little bed in the bottom of your jaw, or put it onto the straw so you know where it is and you know it's relaxing. Relax any jaw tension or neck tension as you're blowing your bubble, okay? Next order of business when you're doing this or any SOVT is rather than pushing against the added pressure that this is offering, feel the note being pulled out of your mouth like something is pulling it through you. You've got your nice support coming from your pelvic floor, giving that nice little push down, and then the note is being pulled through your body. If you're getting really high, you know, as I tell my students, imagine it coming out of your head. You're getting that baby tuck in the chin and the note is coming out of the top back of your head. If we're pulling through, you're not going to get that pushing against the resistance of the water or the exercise, and it's going to be much healthier. You're not going to get that extrinsic muscle engagement or any of those other naughty things. So I will demonstrate what this looks like. We'll do it on the sound of ooh, and I'm going to keep my tongue out because I don't want that tongue tension. Here we go. Very freeing. And once you go to phonate after you've been doing an SOVT, it just gives you such a sense of freedom. So imagine the note being pulled. Keep your bubble rate and size consistent and don't use more air in part of your register than you do in another. It's a good way to check your support. And make sure your head is nice and level and you're sitting up and you're not hunching over like you're drinking a soda or something. Okay, on to the next device. It is called a sing ring. This is a form of a vocal straw. This is the one that I use. As you can see, mine is pretty tarnished because it has been used a lot. These are just more convenient for me. I don't do bubbles in the car on the way to a gig. These are much easier to carry along with me. I can just slip it onto a finger and drive. I can be warming up and I get caught up in something and put the ring back on. It's just super convenient. They come in like a necklace style one too, but I prefer this one. These devices are meant to be used outside of the water, and this one has little holes in it on both sides that will adjust the amount of air pressure that you end up blowing through if you're doing an exercise. This one you can get really, really tight. Like this setting is, I mean, that's a ton of pressure for any human, any singer, having all the holes covered. I like to open this first hole and cover the other ones. And it's the same thing. You imagine the note being pulled out of you rather than pushing against the tool. Critical point, it helps you practice your support, feeling that push down, that gentle push down as you need more support. And again, it has the same effect as the bubbles in helping you warm up faster because it's equalizing that air pressure. Again, this is a sing ring. There are lots of other vocal straws out there. I recommend that you see this one is much smaller. And this hole is way smaller than the other hole. That's important if you're not using it in the water for it to be a much smaller straw. A regular drinking straw to me just doesn't really cut it. The little cocktail straws might work in a pinch if you don't have one of these, but ultimately grab yourself a vocal straw with a smaller diameter than the fat straw for water bubbles. And finally, there's things that you can do just on your own with no tools that will help you to have a semi-occluded vocal tract result without holding something in your hand. Number one, from my college days, Dr. Joseph Stemple. He was one of the early proponents of these exercises for vocal rehab. My students are all familiar with the Dr. Stemple ooh slide because we do it all the time. This is one you can do with just using your lips to occlude your vocal tract while keeping your jaw loose, the space in your mouth big, like almost like you're saying oh, but we're going to say ooh with the lips. And then you slide from a note somewhere near the bottom of your range to somewhere near the top. Again, this is not about challenging your range. It's just about moving through all your registers smoothly and very quietly, and keeping everything loose and tension free. So get ready for that. We'll take a singer's breath, feeling the pelvic floor and the diaphragm dropping in tandem. You hear that little break in there? I'll let you in on a little secret. My tongue was back in my mouth. I had tongue tension when I just did that. I told you, I told you I had a tendency toward that. We'll try that again without the tongue tension. Make sure your tongue is laying down in its bed just like I need to. And we'll do it again. Buzzing the lips, almost like a little siren sound. Ready? Singer's breath, pelvic floor, diaphragm down. Imagine that. It was tongue tension. So you can do this exercise every day, really. It's a great one of the shower warm-ups. I tell people if you feel like you don't have time to practice, do your shower warm-ups, Dr. Stemple slide, Dr. Stemple E, just a really clear tone, as clear and close to a sine wave as you can get. It's a great semi-occluded exercise. The next one you can do anywhere also. It's the sound of Z. That sound, for whatever reason, activates a buzzing sensation in the throat and then the face that's really relaxing, really gets everything moving. If you have a hard time in the morning with singing, that could be a good one for you to do, the sound of Z. You can also do lip bubbles, but I will warn you, if you're like me, if you're a little neurospicy, if you have some sensory stuff going on, trilling your lips might cause a maddening sensation for you. And if it's too much for you, like it is for me, I cannot do those. It makes my nose and my lips itch, and I cannot get to the itch, and it's a very bothersome sensation. So I do not do this. I can't do that. Just that's all the demo you're going to get. But those are a very classic semi-occluded vocal tract exercise, kind of loosens up your whole face. If you're okay with the sensation, go for it, but I'm here to tell you it ain't for me. And finally, we can also roll our R's, like, and just making sure there's no tension under here in the suprahyoids where the base of the tongue is, watching your neck, making sure you're not going and like engaging your platysma or your neck muscles. They're not really helping you. Just keeping all that relaxed and trilling your lips up and down can also be a great way to engage in semi-occluded vocal tract exercises. So that's the whole gang that I like to use. There are others that you can find that you may like. The important thing to remember is we're occluding the vocal tract to equalize air pressure, not just because it's a neat trick. So it's air pressure equalization for the benefit of the vocal folds. We're doing these exercises softly to medium loud. You're never going to be singing in full voice through a semi-occluded exercise because it's not necessary and it can cause tension. Whatever you're doing, watch your posture. Make sure you're not looking down or twisting around or engaging muscles you don't need. Make sure you're using your good support that you would use if you were singing, bringing your attention to your pelvic floor, your diaphragm. Make sure your breath support is nice and even. That's what your bubbles can tell you if you're not sure if you're being even or if you're giving too much air here or there. The bubbles will tell you. And finally, imagine the note being pulled out of you effortlessly rather than pushing and resisting against the device or the air pressure that is causing the occlusion. And with that, that is all. Enjoy your SOVT warm-ups, and I will talk to you later. Bye.